What's up, guys? Welcome to another tutorial. Now, in this tutorial, we are going to talk about um, variables. We are still on variables, and then just know that a variable is just a storage location in which you can store a value to use later in the future. Okay, so also we'll talk about a constructor and then a method, and then we'll talk about objects. Okay, guys. So in this program, it's about class attendance, in which in a particular class, a list of students that are in attendance are taken. Okay, so in doing so, the only thing you will need is the student details, like the first name, the last name, the student number, and then if the person is present or not. Okay, so let's go into our folder structure, like the source folder. Right click and then create a package called attendance. Okay, so right click on the package and then we'll create our class called students. Okay, good, guys. So here I'm going to do do two different things. No, yeah, two different things. Okay, so here I will add a comment for field or instance variable, meaning this section is for instance variables. Okay, so when it comes to the variables, we have two ways to define them. We can initialize, initialize or assign a value. Okay, and also we can declare. Okay, and then we can what? Add a constructor. So here we'll add constructor. And then the other thing is we can add a method. So a method to display this time around it's present. By default, I will give it a false. So we initialize our variable. That's how you initialize or assign values to your variables. Okay, so we will jump this one, we'll come back to it, we'll jump this one also. So we go to the method to display. So a method is just a sequence of instruction that can access the data of an object. Okay, so but there are two type of methods. You have a method with a return type and a method without a return type. So a method with a return type is a method with the data types like integer value, integer string, double, and so on. But a method without a return type is what is void. Okay, so the one that we need is a method without a return type, so that one will be void. So we display, let's say display list. Okay, yeah, display list, and then the parenthesis. This is how to define a method. Okay, you have the specify, the type, the method name, and the body of the method. So inside here we can first of all create a local variable. Now a local variable is only accessed in the place where it is defined. It cannot be accessed outside of the class. So if it is defined in a method, it is only accessible by that method. Okay, if it is in a constructor, just in that constructor. So string full name. So this full name here will store the first name and the last name. Okay, so here I will join it with the first name and the last name. So to access the first name coming from the class, we use the this keyword. Okay, this keyword. Okay, then plus, then we'll join it with empty string for spacing. Okay, and then we'll join it with the last name, this dot l name. Okay, so that's it. So this process is known as concatenation, like you join two things into one. Okay, good. So this empty string here is to add space between them. So down here now I can add um, I can try to display this student out. Okay, so as out. So here let me just do this. You will see why. And then the next thing is now I will add a single print statement to display everything. So the first thing I will need to show a label for the name. Then I will concatenate that with full name. Okay, then I will come again, join that with what, with student number. Okay, so, but before that, to make sure that it goes to a new line, I will add /n before the student number. Then here I will add plus this dot student number. Okay, then I will do the same thing for this thing is present. Okay, so I will just say in class for that one. I don't know how to label it, but let me just use in class. So /n meaning let it display in the next line. So I'll just say this dot is present. Okay, so good. So we are done building our method. So we come down here and add our main method to execute our program. So to add a main method, so public. So to create a constructor, you need a public specifier and the class name. So I'll just say class name is student. And there are two types of constructors. You have parameterized and non-parameterized constructor. Now, a parameterized constructor is a constructor in which you pass in parameters. And for this tutorial, that's what we need. We need to initialize our this declared instance variable. Okay, so to do that, since there are four, we need to have four parameters here. So we'll just have string first name. Okay, string first name. Okay, and then string last name. Okay, and then we'll have int student number. Okay, and then we'll have boolean is present. Okay, good. So you could see that the first two, like first name and the last name, is different from f name and l name, but they all hold the same thing. So it doesn't matter, you could make them different, the same or different. So here student number and is present is the same as here student number and is present. So meaning you can make them the same or different depending on how you want it. So now what we want, like we want anything that this variables like these parameters can access, because these parameters are going to hold values for us later in the future. So anything that it can access, we want to store those things, like we want to transfer it into our instance variables, which means a variable defined within the class. So how can we do that? So to do that, we take each instance variable, we initialize it with a respective local or parameterized variable. Okay, so to do that, we come within the body and we say this dot to reference each instance variable. We use the this dot. So f name is equal to first name. So meaning whatever first name is going to be in the future, it will be stored in f name. So this dot l name is equals to l name last name, and then this dot student number is equals to student number. The last one, this dot is present is equals to is present. Okay, so that's it. So this is it, guys. So we have initialized our instance variable using a constructor. Now this will be more dynamic because now it can hold any value. Then we come down back to our main method, so we could see now our our constructor is having a red line, meaning it cannot be empty anymore. Okay, if you look at it, it's a expected 4 arguments but found 0, meaning you have passed 4 parameter variables, so those variables need to hold some values. So down here we need to pass some values. So to do that, so it is string, so it will be, so let's add there John, and then the second string we can add there week, and then third is the mad number. That one we can say 1 2 3 4. That one is string, and then the last one, which is a boolean, so that one we can add true. Okay, which is the is present. So now if we print this, we can see the data. So let's try to run this. Okay, good. So you can see that, right? So now in this case, if you want to add another student, we just need to create a new object. So here, and then we will still have the data of the previous student. So to add another student, we can create another object. So we come down here, and I will call this one student 2, and then I will add an object for student 2, and then I will add the first name for student 2, which is Aisha, and then the last name I will call it, okay, Aisha Jalo. Okay, then here I will call it 2, okay, and then here in class I will say false, so meaning Aisha is absent. Then to display the data of student 2, I will need to call the object of student 2 and make sure the method will access it through the object. So I'll call the method called display list. Okay, and then let's run this again and see. Now we should see 2 students. Okay, guys, we are seeing now how many students? 2 students. Okay, good. If you want to add another student, the only thing we need to do is just to create another object. We, that's for student 3. Then down here, I add another object called st3, and here we change it to fry. Okay, tube. So here I'll call it 3234, and here I will use true. So to access the data of student 3, we'll just call the object of student 3 and then onto the method display. Okay, then we display this one. So we should see 3 students now. 3 students. That's what we should see. It's running. Let's wait for it. Here it comes. Okay, good. So we can see 3 students, right? Good. So this is what I have for you guys, and hopefully you will learn a lot from this. Okay, I'm just doing this to help people understand the basic of computer programming in Java. So that's it. If you have any question, ask in the comment, and don't forget to like, and also don't forget to subscribe if you are new, because I'll be creating more amazing videos just to help you understand the basic things. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. And hopefully, you will understand what is happening here. So have a nice day. Bye bye.